Welcome to Morning Infusion with Dr. V. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be rejected from your dream school? Well, my name is Dr. Viola Pierce. I'm the owner and CEO of VP Nursing and the Nurse Nurturer and the facilitators of Secret Suppers Worldwide with Dr. V, where our goal is to teach nurses to leverage the knowledge that they already know working from their computers around the world, making money and owning their own time. Our goal is to come to you each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to give you the fuel to crush your goals and to show up exceptional on a daily basis. Know that one of the goals of Morning Infusion with Dr. V is to expose you to leaders that have overcome so that you know that the possibilities are endless. If you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and leave a comment if you were ever told that you would not succeed. And remember to click the calendar link above if you want to create another stream of income and enroll in our 12-week course, VP Nursing Business Academy. Our special guest today is Pamela Bartee. Pam graduated magna cum laude from the University of Mississippi with her BSN in 1989, and she graduated top of her class with her master's in nurse anesthesia from Virginia Commonwealth University in 2003. She currently resides in Atlanta, Georgia, providing anesthesia for endoscopy procedures. She also is a traditional naturopath and possesses certifications in health coaching, fitness, functional medicine, and nutrition. Her specialty in coaching is around improving hormone health and metabolism in midlife women. She is a speaker, health educator, and is currently writing a book and creating digital health education products. So thank you for coming in today. How have you
Thank
been doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for having me here. I feel honored. Thank you so much.
So now, when we first talked, you said that you could not read when you were in high school. Now, how did you manage to get to high school without being able to read?
When you're in school, and especially because my mom was a teacher, I think they pass you along, and I was able to, figure out something where you can at least pass, and the thing is, I was hooked on phonics. I could tell you, it wasn't that I could not totally read. You would see me, you would hear me, you would think, okay, she can read. I knew phonics. But if you ask me, what did you just read? I couldn't tell you anything. I don't care if I just read a sentence. I could not tell you what I had just read. Comprehension was absolutely zero.
Ah, so you could read, you just couldn't comprehend what you
Yeah,
read. I
I could
gotcha.
nothing.
Yeah, I feel that because I mean,
Yeah.
I remember when I first went into nursing school, when we were in nursing school, there was this trying to explain the hepatic system,
Mhm.
and I couldn't get it. I was like, I couldn't understand that. But then once I broke it down, like broke the sentence down, I was able to
Mhm.
understand that. So yeah,
Mhm.
I can completely understand that for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Now you said that your father went to the same school that you went to and became a doctor.
Yeah.
Now, why was it so important to go to the same school that your father attended? And was this the school that you were rejected?
Though, this was the thing about that is he had gone to that school after he had gone through some really bad things as after being injured, and they rejected him. The University of Mississippi, they did not allow him to come, or they told him, we do not treat N-words, we don't treat these people. But he was a captain in the United States Air Force, and
Mhm.
they forced them to treat him. He came back only a couple of years and said, I'm not coming back for you to treat me. I'm coming to go to your medical school. So my father had created a legacy. Sometimes what you do is not for you.
Ah,
Sometimes what you do opens the door for everybody else. So I didn't necessarily just choose to go there. I was legacy. I became legacy. He opened that door for me, even though I had really bad scores. I probably didn't deserve to be there, but I deserved that to be there because he opened the door for me.
I love it. I love it. And I had a shirt on, a sweatshirt on the other day. It was um creating legacies, building wealth and creating legacies.
Yes,
And that's
yes,
huge, right? And
yes.
people don't understand, and I didn't understand either, that whole creating legacy piece of things. So I'm super excited. So you were not rejected, your father was rejected
Yeah.
initially. Gotcha, gotcha. Now you said that you had bad ACT and SAT scores. Let me tell you something. Me too. It was hot, man.
Oh,
And
horrible school.
yes. And as we mentioned, you cannot read in high school. Now, however, you graduated at the top of your class. Now, what were
Mhm.
some of the strategies that you used to overcome?
Well, what I learned to do when I was when I went initially to before nursing school, pre-nursing, I realized, I mean, I was still failing. I was not doing well. So I had gotten by in school, in grade school. But when I went to college, they called it out. I was failing everything. But they had this grace period where they allow you to fail like crazy that first semester. And then you could come back again and try again. And I knew the next time I have to do something different. So I said, okay, try going to a library and getting in a corner somewhere and try again. So what I would do was go to the library from the time I got out of class until the library's closed. Another thing, I used photographic memory. So I still couldn't comprehend, but I was able to just look at photographically memorize a whole lot of things. And to this day, I have really, really great memory because of that. That's how I got through that part. And so I went to nursing school. I still had that. I still had that ability. But of course, when I got in nursing school, the books were all 3,000 pictures a piece. Pages a piece. And I was like, it's no way I can do this. And I never forget the main strategy I have is I go to the library and I start from day one. So where everybody else is like, oh, it's the first day, they didn't give us anything. I was the only one in the library. And I looked all the way forward and there were like 20 desks in front of me, big long desk, and 20 behind me. I was sitting in the middle and I had my books piled up about this high. And I looked and I began to sob and I said, there's no way. And I was like, God, don't bring me this far and let everybody know. I can't read. I can't understand what I'm reading. Please help me. And I sat there and I probably cried for probably 30 minutes with my hands up on that book and my head down, just crying and crying. Nobody could hear me. It was just me in the library. Nobody goes to the library on the first day but me. And I cried and cried. And that's where I know that a miracle, that's all I can say is a miracle happened. Because let me tell you, I had tried over and over again to try to comprehend. But that day I said, okay, wipe your eyes and do this thing. Either you're going to do it or you're not. And I would never forget, I opened that med surge book and I started from page one. And then I was like, oh my God, I understand.
Ah,
And I tell you what, if nothing else, you just keep on trying. You have to just keep on believing that you'll do it. It'll work out. I tell you, it was a miracle for me. And a lot of people don't believe in that, but that was the miracle for me. That's why I'll never forget it. And
I
that was
know.
the day I started reading.
I love that. And one of the things that I think that a lot of people, first of all, you have to ask. If you ask,
Yes, yes,
it will
yes,
give it to you, shake it down, pressed together, and running over.
yes, definitely,
So
definitely.
that's number one. But number two, I think that which I know that when I went to nursing school, one of the things that I lagged, I didn't understand what kind of learner I was. And I think that's one of the things that when you're in high school, you can get by if you don't understand what type of learner you are. And
Yeah,
what I understood at that time was that I was a kinesthetic learner. So if I did it, I got it, right? But
yeah.
see, you didn't always do. Like my clinicals were amazing, but I didn't always do whenever I was in high school. And
Mhm.
so it was a struggle. So when people when you say that you have a photographic memory and then you could remember, then that for me was not something I could do, right? And so when people would come in and they would have those photographic memories, when people would come in and they would have those visual memories or visual or auditory memories, then I can understand why I couldn't do that
Yeah,
until I was 10 years as an LPN. When I came back and I got my RN degree, then I bossed it out because I'd already done most of the things that they were already talking about. So it's
yeah.
just understanding what type of learner you are.
And I had to learn that I'm not only auditory, visual, and I have to have three, all three. If I don't have all three, I'm going to struggle. So I'm reading, then I'm writing it back out. So I'm constantly writing out all my notes. I'm listening. I have to ground myself. I realize now they nobody knew then, but I have attention problems, So they probably would have been called an attention deficit. So
Mhm.
back then. But that was another problem. That's why I had to go to the library. That's why I had to get in the corner. I can't, even today in my house, if I want to learn something, I have to go to a library and get myself in a corner somewhere to learn.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Mhm,
I love it. You
mhm,
have to not
mhm.
have those distractions.
Right.
I
Mhm,
get it.
mhm,
Now, after all that, you went to nurse anesthesia school, which is a beast of a school, I do have
mhm.
to say. Who inspired you to go to nurse anesthesia school?
Well, when I had graduated, I heard a couple of people when I graduated from my BSN, and I said I'm going to look into that. But I looked into it well, right away because I had graduated, magna cum laude. I was on fire. I was ready to do something else. But that didn't translate into that because there was a lot of problems with African Americans getting into schools. Even though I wanted to do it back in '89, I didn't get into a program until 2001. Because mainly because there were really nobody, there were very few African Americans in schools, nurse anesthesia schools.
I think that it's amazing though that you couldn't read or well, you couldn't comprehend in high school,
Mhm.
and then you got into nurse anesthesia school. That is in itself is amazing. Now you
Mhm.
were told during your interview that people like you would not make it. What do you think they meant by that? And how did it make you feel?
Well, I was used to people telling me I'd never make it, so that wasn't a big deal. All I know is I knew that if you let me in, I'm getting ready to crush everything that you believe. Just let me in. So, I smile, all right, but because I had worked at Grady's, Grady, Atlanta, Grady's big surgical trauma ICU, I had gotten into every school I applied to. But I went to Virginia Commonwealth University because I had six people interviewing me, and all of them, in one way or the other, alluded to Black folks don't make it here, and you will never make it here. You all don't do well. I knew I had to go to Virginia Commonwealth University, not for me. And I didn't realize it at the time, but I thought about it later. I essentially did what my father did. You have to change the narrative. Somebody has to go ahead and open the door for other people. And that's what I did because I said, this is unacceptable that they feel comfortable saying the stuff they said to me during my interview. It was horrible. It was horrible. That was just the least of it, that y'all don't make it. I heard all kind of stuff. Somebody needs to don't be coming here with all them kids and y'all want somebody to keep them for you. And I'm like, I don't even have the kids. What are they talking about? You know. But that was the kind of stuff I heard in my interview. It was horrible. It was horrible. So I
Wow.
went because it was time for them to see something different.
I love it. I love it. I love
Mm.
it. And Jocelyn said, "Wow, against all odds, and I can show you better than I can tell you."
Yeah,
And that
that's right.
that
All
right
right.
there,
I said, just let me in.
just let me in. That's all you got to do. I got you from that point forward. I love it. I love it. Now, how were you able to overcome these hurtful words that they just didn't mean anything to you?
The overcome what?
The
What was that?
hurtful words.
Oh, the hurtful words, just like I said, I was used to people saying I wouldn't make it. I mean, my parents said, we don't need to be sending you to college because we're going to waste our money. So I was used to folks saying and believing. I became to a point, and I'm still like this, that I like being underestimated, and I like being under the radar because I come from nowhere, and everybody's like, "Who is this?" So I really, I thrive off of being rated lower and coming and overcoming odds. So I was fine. I was like, they just don't know me. Let me in. Let me
But you
in.
know what? I think there's value in. I'm getting some feedback. I think that there is value in what you said because you said that what you thought and what they thought is two very different things.
Mhm.
That is a game changer
Right.
because what I say about myself is most important. It is not what everybody else says about me. As long as I am speaking gold into my life, then I am good. So I love that. I love how you said that. Now you were told that that there was a meeting to get you out of school. Now I think that this is crazy. Now, how did you handle this?
Well, you know what? I heard a lot of little things. Let me tell you, the way when they when I had gotten through that program, like the first semester, where I say that most people, like I say that I was in I was somewhere studying that first day. Most people kind of waited and waited. And we were in that first semester. It was designed to eliminate any weak links. So, but me, I was the first day, I probably studied 6 hours. I was on it. We were on had this physiology course that we took with medical students. That eliminated a lot of people. So most people, they did not do well that first semester, but I crushed everything in that physiology course. So by the time I finished that first semester, I was the only one that had all A's. They were like, oh my gosh, so now she's going to be at the top if we don't do anything. The university, Virginia Commonwealth University, became ranked number 1 the year that I was going to graduate. And they realized I was the only one with a 4.0 average, So they started doing stuff that they couldn't get me when it came to the coursework. So they started doing a lot of things psychological. When I say psychological craziness that they did to me, and that's what I realized how they used the way they got us out is they beat you down until you turn around and break and curse them out. And they say, okay, you're out, you're gone. So I was like, you cannot do it. So I had to, this what you call emotional intelligence. I had to have it on. It had to be on point at all times, because I had, during that time, not only were they doing meetings, I had people that would just try to start a fight from out of the blue. And I would like, what is this? Why? But I had to get this emotional intelligence where I was like, I would turn around on them. I'm like, are you okay? Don't let this school make you go crazy. I had to turn it so that people start wondering. They realized I wasn't going to break. I'm not going to break. But the whole thing about the meeting, I'll tell you, it was a confirmation constantly from God, because they kept telling me, I'm crazy. You're crazy. Nobody's doing this to you. And God would inject people throughout that time that would say, you're not crazy. Somebody told me about the meeting. Somebody told me, if you come here, they've already figured out a way to get you out. So little by little, people told me things to let me know you're not crazy. You just keep on pushing. You keep on pushing. So that's how I have handled that. Long answer to that.
I love it. And and the thing about it too, as well, is you were so good they could not ignore you. It reminds me of Serena and Venus, right? You were
Yeah.
so good they couldn't ignore you. And Angie, in real life, Angie, we just spent some time at a retreat with Miss Esther Graham. We were
Mm.
at that retreat. So Angie says, "Good morning, good morning,
Good morning.
Angie." So I love it. So now, who is someone that has impacted your life, and why were they so impactful?
You know what? Who impacted me was that first semester when I was in college, and I had pretty much failed everything. But the one course that I was like, it's no way. I had to take college algebra. And I was in that college algebra class, and I was like, this is nothing American. This has to be Chinese. I was in that course, and I was just smiling and shaking my head. I had absolutely no idea what they were doing. It was something on another level. And I failed that course so horribly. But I got a chance to come back that next semester, and I said, I'm going to try this again. And I went in that college algebra course,
Hmm.
and the woman started the teacher started putting stuff up on the board, and it looked like that Chinese. And I put my head down and I said, this is it. You're not going to get another chance. You won't make it. And I put my head down, and I heard her say, as I had my head down, you can do it like this, but why? God, that is so hard. I looked up and I said, it is hard. And I mean, she redid it.
Mhm.
and she did it different.
Mhm.
She did it in a way I understood. Why
Ah.
did she impact me? I realized that day that there are more ways than one to do something. It's the hard way and it's the way that you can do it.
10
That's
ways
what
to get
changed
a
my
cat.
whole life. That changed my life. To this day, I say, okay, I don't understand your way. Let me find my way. And that's where my life changed. I'm telling you, it went from 0 to 100 from me that day. And I started looking for the ways I understand, I read, I do everything. And that's when I really that changed everything. That was the most impactful person, my college algebra teacher at Mississippi State University.
And you know what? And the thing is, it is so true because what happens is we have these goals, right? We have these goals, and what happens is we want to that one way to get to that goal. When there's five different ways to get to that goal, don't be
Yeah.
tied to the way that you need to get to the goal. Just
Mhm.
be tied to the goal. You
Right.
got to be flexible in how you get to that goal because at the end of the day, the way that you are designed to get to that goal is the way that God wants you to get to that
Right.
goal. And
Absolutely.
so I love that. I love that. Now, what is a book that you recommend that has impacted your life?
The book, I've read lots of books, but the one that really also changed my life early on was a book by a author, Sarah Brethnick, which was Something More. And I
Mhm.
don't know how I got that book in my hand, but when I read that book, it opened up my world and made me realize that, oh, you may have graduated from nursing school and you overcome came the odds and what everybody expected you, didn't expect of you. But that's not where it stops. Something more is about you press for the things that you want. There's so much more out in this world. Don't ever limit yourself. Now, it might have been a curse because I have not limited myself. I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly elevating my knowledge and moving toward the things in my highest calling. I never stop because I feel like I have not reached where I've been called to. And that is the most impactful book for me.
I love it. I love it. I
Mhm.
love it. Angie said, you used to say there's more than one way to skin a cat. And yes,
Yes,
it is.
yes,
It is so many
absolutely.
ways. Now, you said that you had a book coming out. Now, what
Mhm.
would the book be about? And when is it coming out? And where can we go purchase it?
Okay. So my book is turning symptoms into conversations, disrupting dis-ease with the power of love. And my platform, where I come from, the my background as far as wellness, because I told God, if you want me to come back into this, I need something different. I just don't want to just tell people how to eat and why they need to eat. And I tell you, I had taken I've taken a life coaching and relationship coaching class. Didn't know why I took it. I just thought I would take it. And I said, when I got through with that, I said, I don't need to be doing that. I don't even have a good marriage. I don't never need to do that. But God said, God said, you're going to use that. And you're going to use that to really do your coaching and health and wellness coaching. It took me a while to realize what he was talking about. But I finally realized that if we do not improve the relationships we have with our bodies, and it really is a relationship, and I think that that's the problem why people do not stick to any plan is because we're chasing all these other things outside of ourselves. And the answer is right inside of ourselves. Our bodies are the best conversationalists you'll ever find. But if you're not in tune, you'll never hear it. And so that's my platform comes from a place of love. If we tune in, hear, listen, we will hear everything and it will direct us and guide us and navigate us to our healing. So the book Turning Symptoms into Conversations is really a book that gives the body thoughts, emotions, and a voice. Letting a person know that this is not just about you. Getting healthy is about us. And my highest purpose for you is to be that vehicle towards your purpose. But you've got to love on me and give me what I need for you to get what you need. And so that book, I I had some issues with my landing page, so I don't have it set up. But I am going to be coming out. I encourage you all to listen out for that book, Turning Symptoms into Conversations. I will be coming out by Mother's Day, and And I look forward to that because now, and then I got several books after that, but this was the big book for me. It's the most in depth of what I'll be doing with my platform stands for.
Good, good, good. So where can we find you? Like if
Um,
we were
I would you can I'm on Facebook and I'm Pamela Barty.
okay.
I'm on you find me on Instagram as the bodyologist. Bodyologist. BODYAWELOGIST. The bodyologist.
I love it.
And that's where you'll find me for that. And just stay in touch. My book will be coming out. I'm sorry, my landing page. I had an issue with that, so I don't have a place to send you for
We'll have to talk about your landing page. We'll work that out.
that.
We'll work that
Thank
out.
you. Mhm.
All right. Well, thank you, Miss Pam, for being here today with me because it has been wonderful and you have been very insightful and very inspirational as well. Because what happens is a lot of times we think, we started, basically from the bottom. Now we're here. And the reality is that, you just, the possibilities are endless. And I love, love, love your story. So my name is Dr. Viola Pierce. I'm the owner and CEO of VP Nursing and the Nurse Nurturer and the facilitators of Secret Suppers Worldwide with Dr. V, where our goal is to teach nurses to leverage the knowledge that they already know working from their computers anywhere around the world, making money and owning their own time. Our goal is to come to you each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to give you the fuel to crush your goals. And know that one of the goals of Morning Infusion with Dr. V is to expose you to leaders such as Miss Pam who have overcome so that you know that your possibilities are endless. If you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and leave a comment if you were ever told that you would not succeed. And remember to click the calendar link above if you want to create another stream of income and enroll in our 12-week course, VP Nursing Business Academy. You guys have a phenomenal rest of your day.